Hey guys, I would like to work through some of today's Google Slides with you on algebraic expressions. So again, our goal is we are moving towards solving equations, and I want to refresh your memory on the different pieces of an equation and how to work with it so that when we start solving it, you will have your mind refreshed already. So when we look here, we're just going to click and drag and practice some vocab. Variables, those are your letters. So you'll see that the squiggly line is pointing to the x, so that is a variable. Coefficient, those are the numbers that are in front of a variable. And so if you look here, the 7, that's in front of a variable, so that's the coefficient. An expression is the whole thing. So an equation will have an equal sign, an expression will not. It will just have lots of terms. So that one would be an expression. Exponent is the number, like the little number at the top. So this would say x squared, which is x times x. So that 2 is an exponent. And then you have constant. That's the numbers that are already by themselves because it doesn't, like you can't multiply anything to it. There's no x attached, so therefore it will constantly be a negative 10. This one would constantly be a negative 9 because you always look in front of it. So that one is a constant, and this one is a constant. And then like terms wasn't used on this one, or I'm out of boxes, but it would be the 7x and the 3x because they have the same variable ending, and so you can combine those and put them together. So 7x plus 3x, that would be 10x, and so those would be like terms. But like I said, it doesn't have a box on there, so feel free to not do that. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to work through this one by yourself. So you can go back to what we just did together on slide 1 and then see if you can answer these. Your next slide, on slide 3, is a like term sort. And so you'll see this one says x terms, y terms, x, y terms, and constants. So this is just to get you to recognize what kinds of terms. So you're looking at the variable ending. So you'll see how 9xy, that term is an xy term because that is the variable ending. This says negative y, so that's a y term. This one says 9x, so that is an x term. And remember, constants, those are the numbers that are by themselves and they have no variable ending. And so you would find all of those and put them there. So you're going to go through and you're going to sort and practice the different types of terms that you see on this page. So you'll put all of the constants, like this is negative 17.1, no variable ending, so it'll go down here. 5x has an x ending, so it goes there. So you can do that for that whole page to get them in the right spots. And then next, I don't want to delete the other stuff that we're going to do. We're going to do some combining like terms practice. So this is an instructional slide. So the first thing you're going to do together is you're going to group together the like terms, kind of like what we just did in that sort. Then you're going to add the like terms together and type your answer at the bottom. So looking at this one, you'll see that there's 2 examples on the slide. So I'm going to do the first one with you. So 6x, 10y, negative 3x, constant is a negative 4, and then negative 13x will also go down here. So then you're going to put those together because you can only add things that have like terms with them. So you can only put the x terms together. You can't take 6x plus 10y and get 16xy. It changes everything. I always think of it with like fruit. If I have 6 apples instead of x's and I have 10 bananas, I don't have 16 apple bananas. I have 6 apples, 10 bananas. So those can't be put together. That's why we're sorting them. And then these all are x's, or all apples, if you will, since they have the same variable ending. So we can put these together. So if I have 6x minus 3x, so if I have 6 apples, take away 3 apples, I now have 3 apples. So 6x minus 3x is 3x's. And then I have to subtract 13x. So if I have 3 x's and I subtract 13 x's, I owe someone 10 x's. And then here we have our 10y. It's the only thing there. So we bring it down. And then our constant, we only have one constant. So we bring it down. So if you want to see me do another example of that, please ask me, and I would love to do this one with you. But if you're good, you can move on to the next slide. Or, well, no, you need to do this example, and then you can move on. So if you need more help, let me know, and I will help. So then the next slide is two more of these. I'll do the first one on this slide again. That one ends in X. This one doesn't have a variable. This one doesn't have a variable. This one has an X, and that one doesn't have a variable, so it's a constant. So on this one, you do negative 14x plus 21x. So if I owe you $14 and someone gives me 21, I pay off my debt, and I would still have 7 left. So that one was 7x. And here, a negative 8 plus 2 gives me a negative 6. Negative 6 plus 6 takes me to 0. So all of that mess simplified to be 7x. So that's why we combine like terms, because it makes the problems look a lot easier than leaving them all stretched out like that. And then finally today, what I want you to do is you're going to connect this puzzle. So you're going to begin with a card. You're going to look at the left column for your answer, drag and drop it to the next space, and then you'll continue until all the spaces are filled. So here, if you look here, you have 8a minus 2a. Well, if I have 8 apples and you take away 2, I now have 6 apples plus 3 bananas. So I'm going to look here, 6 apples plus 3 bananas, and I'll put that in its spot. Then, now my next problem is at the bottom of this card. So I have 3 apples plus 7 bananas minus 4 bananas. So I'm going to take my bananas and put them together. If I have 7 and take away 4, now I have 3 bananas. So I have 3 apples and 3 bananas, or 3 A's and 3 B's. So that would be my answer. And so then you'll continue. Think about what this one would be, and you would put it here, and then until you get to the final answer of there. And that is how you do your Google Slide activity. When you are finished today, you will submit this on its learning, and I will be giving you 1 point for each correct slide that you have. So if you just click and drag and things don't make sense, you don't get a point. If you make a little mistake here or there, you'll get half credit. So please let me know how I can help. Thanks for listening.